From Mike Pence dropping out of the race before people who have 0% chance of winning, like Asa Hutchinson, to South Park expressing what DEI means. We have a jam-packed show, so without further ado, let's begin.
Facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
Starting off, let's look at 2024 presidential candidates, and if we do look at them, we can actually see that there are a lot of people in the race this election, and that's not a good thing. The more people get in this race, the more people are going to get distracted and ignore winning. For example, if we look back to 2016, the last presidency that the Republicans actually won, we can see that there were many people in the race for way too long. That's what I call a catch-22. Because there is so many people in the race, then the candidates have to battle each other, which makes both of their ratings go down, depending of course, but generally it does. The opposite is still true. If there aren't enough people in the race, then the top candidate will just attack the little candidates, then the little candidates have zero chance of winning. It's the oldest rule in the book, and that's exactly what politics are made of. I tell this to every single person in my personal life. When someone that I support gets attacked, if you're not cut out for this, then you're not cut out for politics. Also, the people that are within the race have already thick skin, but that's the good thing. The bad thing is that some of these politicians have such thick skin that even true things they need to work on go unnoticed and ignored as hate. That's why it takes a certain person to look at not only the polls, but also ask, why am I here in this presidential stage right now? There is all sorts of reasons why people might be on the presidential stage, and it might not just because you're quote-unquote running for president. Of course, winning the presidency is always the goal, but these people with 1 to 2% in the polls have no chance of winning. So why run? I'll tell you, running for president opens the door for lots of opportunities. This will get your name more mainstream, and it will also get you some shows and lots of money from donors. But some people want to become president so they can tell who they really are. These people who are not going to win and have little to no chance in actually doing anything else. So what do? They drop out. A person who recently did this was Mike Pence. He just announced that he was stepping down effective on Saturday, October 28th. Even though he had some more support than other people in the race like Asa Hutchinson, if you even know who he is, he knew he was not going to win, and thus he stepped out. It was a good thing while it lasted, but the show is just getting started, and it will go on with or without him. And I believe that Mike Pence only actually ran the presidency because of the fact that he had a title, he had a history, his legacy. That's my take on the matter. Obviously this could be wrong, but let me know your comments down below what you actually think about Mike Pence running and dropping out within the same exact year. So with that being said, we're going to be digging into the headlines of the week. Okay, so starting off with the headlines of the week, we actually have a Daily Wire article. We have top Hamas official. We're ready to repeat October 7th attacks again and again until Israel is initiated. Ghazad Hamad said during a recent interview that the terrorist organization was ready to launch as many repeats of their October 7th terrorist attack. So, of course, Hamas wants Israel bad. They hate Israelis, they hate Jewish people, and they're going to massacre anybody that stands in their way. And I love how the West just thinks of them as a Western country. Like, no, Hamas is a terrorist organization that controls the Gaza Strip, which is a terrorist regime. They're all terrorists together. All of these people that are grown-ups now have been transformed into Nazis that hate Jewish people merely for being Jewish. They have maps that they teach their school children, and Israel is not even on the map. So what is this? This is Nazism. So top Hamas official dubbed as Al-Aqsa flood as needed until everyone in Israel is murdered. Mohammed made the remarks during an interview late last month on LBC TV, a Lebanese news channel, after Hamas terrorists murdered 1,400 Israelis, wounded 5,300, and kidnapped approximately 240. It, quote unquote, Israel is a country that has no place in our land, he declared. We must remove that country because it constitutes a security, military, and political catastrophe to the Arab and Islamic nation, and must be finished. We are not ashamed to say this with full force. So that's just disgusting right there. They're saying that they need Israel out of the picture and they're going to kill everybody that's there. We must teach Israel a lesson. We will do this again and again, he said. Okay, so they're going to teach Israel a lesson what? Just for surviving and living throughout the years, you're going to teach them a lesson? They gave you the Gaza Strip. You ruined the Gaza Strip. That's on you, buddy. The Al-Qasr flood is just the first time, and there will be a second, a third, and a fourth, because we have the determination, the resolve, and the capabilities to fight. Will we have to pay a price? Yes, and we are ready to pay it. We are called a nation of martyrs, and we are proud to sacrifice martyrs. Later in the interview, he said that the occupation must come to an end, adding that they're not just talking about Gaza, but all of what he claimed were the Palestinian lands. Does that mean the annihilation of Israel? The news anchor asked. He responded, yes, of course. The existence of Israel is illogical, he concluded. The existence of Israel is what causes all the pain, blood, and tears. It is Israel, not us. We are the victims of occupation, period. Therefore, nobody should blame us for the things that we do on October 7th, 10, October 1 million. Everything we do is justified. That's just disgusting, that's despicable, and that's pure evil. This is just pure propaganda. On October 7th and October 10th and October 1 million, everything we do is justified. No, not everything that you do is justified. Killing babies, shooting them in their baby carriers is not justified. Raping women just for being women is not justified. Killing fathers in front of their own families is not justified. Beheading people is not justified. Everything that Hamas does is not justified, and this is just pure propaganda from the Hamas government. This is exactly why the West needs to look Hamas in the face and say, this is what you're saying. No, we will not be supporting you whatsoever. This is exactly why they think that they can get away with it, because of the fact that the media is over here defending them every single turn that they make. Every single step that they take, they will be following them. They will be watching them. Hamas loves the mainstream media in the West, and the West in the mainstream media loves Hamas. It's just disgusting and despicable. It's beyond words at this moment that the media can still stand on the side of Hamas, a terrorist organization that killed thousands of people on October 7th, and then just act like nothing's even happening. Like, no. That's where you got everybody all wrong, because that's not going to happen. We're not going to allow this to happen, and that's just it. Obviously, Israel is going to be a lot more prepared for this in the future, and this will never happen. Okay, moving into the next article, we actually have a Daily Wire article. So we actually have America's top 11 generals, and this is actually going to explain a lot. So Matthew B. Ridgway was from World War II in Korea. So this is from 1895 to 1993. He was a commander. So the thing is, or he was a general. So the thing is, a lot of people are trying to take away the statues of these people. They're taking them down from cities. They're bringing them into museums, and then they're going and they're melting the bodies or the statues of these people merely because they held wrong beliefs. If we go through and filter it with today's views, obviously everybody's going to be a racist if you filter it through today's views. But we have to filter it through the views at which they were active during the time, because that was the mainstream thought process at the time. So, over the years, the United States has produced many remarkable generals and admirals, but only a few had stood out as world-class strategists and leaders of troops. As Veterans Day approaches on November 11th, let's remember and celebrate them. Here's my list of America's finest 11 commanders. Matthew B. Ridgway, 1895 to 1993, World War I and Korea. Few generals have done more to completely reverse a catastrophic strategic situation, proverbially pulling victory from the jaws of the defeat in so little time, as did the infectiously driven Ridgway during the Korean War, West Point class of 1917. This was a man who parachuted with the 82nd Airborne into Europe during World War II at the age of 49. His standard accoutrements of a grenade hanging on one breast pocket and a first aid kit on the other projected the image of a bona fide field general, which he was, endearing him to the man. Such a tough, non-nonsense commander was needed in Korea in the winter of 1950-51, when Ridgway's superior, Douglas MacArthur, found himself in headlong retreat following the massive Chinese counterattack, which negated his stunning victory at Lincoln in the fall and subsequent advance through North Korea to the Ural River on China's border. The heady days of MacArthur's optimistically named Home by Christmas offense were long gone. By January 1951, the South Korean capital Seoul was back in the communist hands, and the seemingly invisible Chinese People's Liberation Army looked ready to push the withdrawing United Nations forces off the peninsula entirely. The United States was fortunate to have Ridgway, who had never served in Asia before he got the call to fly to Korea and take over the 8th Army after a Jeep accident killed its previous commander, General Wilton Walker. In fact, as he took stock of the seemingly desperate situation on the peninsula, he soon realized he's seen this scenario before. The Ridgway was well suited to halt Morrow's winter offensive. During the Second World War, Ridgway has been instrumental in blunting the German winter attack of 1944 to 1945. Through the Ardennes popularity called the Battle of the Bulge. He restored order and discipline to his panicked troops, a circumstance easier similar to the United Nations bug-out before him. While some saw the Red Chinese as supermen, Ridgway had no such fearful delusions. In fact, he stood that by the time that the communists had retaken Seoul, they were all overextended and suffering from exposure to the elements as well as malnourishment due to severely taxed logistics. This was not unlike the position Van Rosenstein's Panzer Group found themselves in by January 1945, while some generals and civilian authorities alike were declaring Korea lost and planning for evacuation. Ridgway saw an opportunity to destroy Mao's exhausted, starving, frostbitten legions. Stern ramrod straight in excellent physical health. One gets the feeling that were we to look up United States General in the dictionary, Ridgway's resolute face would glare back at us, and his determination to win prompted him to get the word out that the plague of defeatism was over. The United States would go on to the offensive and end this bug-out nonsense. In fact, he forbid even the use of that defeatist term. Ridgway officially took command of the 8th Army on December 26, 1950, and by January 15, the United States and the Republic of Korea, ROK, divisions were holding firm. There would be no evacuation of the peninsula. In preparation for his counteroffensive, Ridgway led by example. His first order of business was to move the 8th Army headquarters from 115 miles south right up to the front lines. Then he constantly roamed the overflow lines, getting a feel for the men's needs and concerns. Having stabilized the front, a Ridgway hallmark, he then instilled in his men a sense of righteous mission to save the world from communist enslavers. Beyond ideological verve, Ridgway made sure that his troops had the full support of their commanders, who would provide them with good winter clothes, plenty of food and ammo, reliable weaponry, and a sense that as badly worn as they were, the Chinese were much worse off. Indeed, with severe winter laying waste to the poorly equipped, drained enemy, and viewed the bitter cold as an ally, a point he made sure was driven home to the men as well. With this renewed confidence, Ridgway's command opened up to its February 1951 counteroffensive. He set about using his overwhelming advantage in archery and air power to systematically destroy the malnourished and exhausted Chinese. As a clue to his mindset as a no-nonsense warrior, Ridgway dubbed his offensive operations Pergnas, names like Killer, Ripper, and Rugged. This was a typical Ridgway bravado, designed to inculminate his men a ruthlessness that gushed down from their commanding general to the lowest private. Soon, the United States and ROK, Republic of Korea, columns were advancing northwards again, retaking Seoul in March 1951. So stressful was Ridgway's 100-day return around the United Nations fortunes. President Truman felt he had political clout to fire the outspokenly recalcitrant MacArthur and put Ridgway in overall theater command. It is no exaggeration to say that Ridgway saved the war, and with it, Truman's presidency in the United States' credibility. And I completely agree. If it wasn't for this general, then we would have lost that war, and then everybody would be complaining, oh, we didn't even want to go in that war in the very first place. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Don't lie. Okay, moving into the next article, we actually have another Daily Wire article. We have bank records show that Biden received laundered money. Bank records show that Biden received laundered money from China, Comer says. So House Oversight and Accountability Chairman James Comer, Republican from Kentucky, said that bank records uncovered by lawmakers revealed that President Joe Biden received $40,000 in laundered money from China. According to Comer, the money to Biden originated from Northeastern International Capital, a Chinese company affiliated with Chinese conglomerate CEFC. Eventually, it's made its way to James and Sarah Biden. After going through a series of Hunter Biden-linked entities, James, the president's brother, and his wife, Sarah, then sent Joe Biden $40,000 check as a loan repayment. Remember when Joe Biden told the American people that his son didn't make money from China? Well, this is not the only time that he lied about his son, Hunter. Making money in China, in laundered China money landed in Joe Biden's bank account in the form of a personal check, and the Oversight Committee has it. Comer said in a video statement released by House Republicans explaining the new banking momentarium detailing the check. The Venmo said that Northeastern International Capital sent $5 million to Hudson West III, a joint venture created by Hunter and CEFC associate. On August 8th, 2017, $40,400,000 was sent from Hudson West III to an entity affiliated with Hunter Biden. Then, on August 14, 2017, the memo said that Northeastern International Capital sent $5 million to Hudson West III, a joint venture created by Hunter and a CEFC associate. On August 8, 2017, $400,000 was sent from Hudson West III to an entity affiliated with Hunter Biden. Then, on August 14, 2017, the Hunter entity sent $150,000 to the London Hall Group, an entity affiliated with James and Sarah. On August 28, 2017, Sarah withdrew $50,000 from the London the Hall Group, and deposited it into her and James' personal bank account. According to Comer, on September 3rd, 2017, Sarah then wrote that the $40,000 check to Joe Biden. Comer said it was certainly plausible that this payment, where James and Sarah used funds from China, was indeed a loan repayment to Joe Biden. But even if this $40,000 check was a loan repayment from James to Joe Biden, or Joe Biden to James Biden, it still shows that Joe Biden benefited his family by cashing in on his name, with no money from China, no less, Comer said. According to the timeline provided by Comer, the money transfers began just days after Hunter had reportedly invoked his father in a WhatsApp message to CEFC associate Brendan Zoll. Hunter reportedly wrote in a July 30th, 2017 message to Zao, I'm sitting here with my father, who, Hunter reportedly wrote in a January 30th, 2017 message to Zao, I am sitting here with my father and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand, and now means tonight. And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zing, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that I will not that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father. The message was first revealed by the IRS whistleblowers, who said that their investigators into Hunter Biden were hindered by his leadership. So I completely agree with the article. So the thing is that, I mean, obviously I agree with the article because it's factual, but Joe Biden just looks like the guy that would take money from other people just so they can have him do whatever the heck they want. He looks like the type of guy that would do that. And I think that's going to do it for this episode. Please like and subscribe down below, because I do post new episodes of the show every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you did like this episode and you do want to see more, the link is down below if you do want to see more episodes made by me. Thank you all for watching. I hope